Did you know there is a pattern in marital intimacy that God considers serious selfishness, and it is destroying millions of Christian marriages from the bedroom? Have you wondered why your wife seems less and less interested in intimacy? Why does she avoid your advances? Why has the passion you once had turned into cold obligation? Brother, today I am going to reveal a biblical mystery about marital intimacy that no pastor dares to preach, but which is directly connected to why your marriage is losing its fire. When you finish before your wife, when you seek your satisfaction without ensuring hers, you are violating a fundamental biblical principle that God established for marriage. The consequences go far beyond the bedroom. They affect your spiritual authority, your emotional connection, and eventually the very survival of your marriage. This is not a talk about worldly sexual techniques. This is biblical revelation about how God designed marital intimacy to function and why your current pattern is bringing a curse instead of a blessing. This video found you today because your wife is unsatisfied, and she probably doesn't even tell you directly. She is accumulating silent resentment every time you leave her unsatisfied. If you do not correct this, brother, your marriage is in real danger. Remember that it was not you who found this channel of Hebrew stories. It was this channel that found you at the exact moment you most need to hear this uncomfortable but saving truth. Before I reveal exactly what God says about satisfying your wife first, and how this reflects deep spiritual principles, I'm going to tell you a story that will completely confront you. A story about a man who thought he was a good husband but was destroying his marriage every night without realizing it. I won't give away his name because first you need to understand that his story is probably your story. I want you to comment this phrase immediately: I will put her pleasure before mine. Write it as a declaration that you are going to change your selfish pattern. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, brother, do it now, because Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves." You need teaching that confronts your hidden selfishness. Subscribing is a declaration that you want to be a husband according to God's design, not according to your convenience. Do not make the mistake of thinking this is a minor or superficial issue. Your wife's sexual satisfaction is directly connected to the spiritual health of your marriage. If you close this video now, you will continue to destroy your marriage every night without understanding why she is becoming more and more distant. I'm going to start with the story. In the stony hills of Canaan lived a man named Nereus, whose name meant lamp of the Lord. And indeed, Nereus saw himself as an exemplary man. He was a tireless worker, a faithful provider, a present father, a devoted believer. When he married a beautiful woman named Abigail, everyone celebrated, thinking it was a blessed marriage. The first few months were of intense passion. Nereus constantly desired Abigail, and she responded with enthusiasm. But gradually, something began to change. Abigail became less receptive. When Nereus sought her out at night, she sighed with resignation rather than anticipation. "What's wrong?" Nereus asked, confused. "Nothing," Abigail replied with a flat voice. "I'm tired." Nereus didn't understand. He still desired her as much as ever. Why had she lost interest? He attributed it to household responsibilities, the fatigue of raising children, or hormonal changes. It never occurred to him that the problem could be him. One night, after particularly brief intimacy where Nereus finished quickly and turned over to sleep, satisfied, Abigail lay staring at the ceiling with silent tears streaming down her cheeks. It wasn't the first time, it was the 100th time. Always the same: he sought her, he satisfied himself, he fell asleep. She was left empty, used like an object that fulfilled its function and was discarded. Abigail began to invent excuses to avoid intimacy. Headaches, extreme tiredness, invented ailments. Anything to avoid going through the experience of feeling used again. Nereus grew increasingly frustrated. "Why does my wife reject me?" he complained to friends. "I fulfill everything. I provide, I am faithful, I am present. What more does she want?" One day, a wise elder of the town named Caleb heard Nereus's complaints. Caleb had been married for 40 years, in a marriage that everyone admired for its evident love. He asked Nereus to walk together. "Brother," Caleb began gently, "when you are with your wife in intimacy, who finishes first?" Nereus was taken aback by the direct question. Me, obviously. That's how it works. And then what do you do? I fall asleep. I'm tired from work. Caleb stopped and looked at Nereus with deep sadness. Brother, you have just revealed why your wife rejects you. It's not that she has lost desire, it's that you never satisfy her. You use her for your pleasure and leave her empty. Every night you do that, you are depositing rejection in her heart. Eventually, that rejection overflows, and she can no longer bear to be used again. Nereus defended himself. But I desire her. That should be enough. Desiring her is not the same as satisfying her, Caleb replied. Ephesians chapter 5 says to love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Christ did not seek his own satisfaction, he sacrificed himself completely for ours. In intimacy, that means her pleasure comes before yours. Her satisfaction is your primary responsibility. If you finish before her and fall asleep, you are not loving like Christ. You are using her like the world. Nereus felt as if he had been punched in the stomach. He had never thought of that. Caleb continued, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3 says that the husband must fulfill his conjugal duty to his wife. Conjugal duty is not just being available for sex, it is satisfying her completely. If she remains unsatisfied, you have not fulfilled your duty. It is as if an employee arrived at work but did not do his task. Presence without fulfillment is not obedience. That night, Nereus couldn't sleep. He mentally reviewed years of intimacy with Abigail. It had always been the same, he satisfied himself, she was left unsatisfied. He had never asked her. He had never cared enough to ask. The next day, with extreme shame, Nereus sat down with Abigail. I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. In our intimacy, are you satisfied? Abigail looked at him with eyes that instantly filled with tears. The dam broke. Never, she whispered. Never in 10 years of marriage have I been satisfied. You always finish quickly, turn over, and fall asleep. I am left there, empty, feeling used. I have come to hate it when you seek me out, because I know it will be the same. A few minutes of you using me, and then abandonment. Nereus was devastated. 10 years. 10 years of leaving his wife unsatisfied, night after night. 10 years of selfishness that he had confused with love. The following months were a radical transformation. Nereus learned to control his body. He learned to focus completely on Abigail's pleasure first. He learned to ask, to listen, to serve. The first few times were difficult because he had to reprogram years of selfishness, but gradually, something magical happened. Abigail began to seek him out. She began to anticipate intimacy instead of fearing it. The passion he thought was dead resurrected stronger than ever, and their entire marriage was transformed, because the connection in the bedroom healed wounds that had extended to all areas. Brother, if your heart is pounding fast right now, if you feel crushing conviction, it is because Nereus's story is your story. You have been finishing before your wife for years, leaving her unsatisfied, and you didn't understand why she lost interest. Now you know, and today you are going to learn exactly what God says about this and how to correct it. First devastating truth * you must understand. Finishing before your wife and falling asleep is sexual selfishness that violates the commandment to love as Christ. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Christ did not seek his own satisfaction, he sacrificed himself completely for our satisfaction in marital intimacy. That means your primary focus must be to satisfy her, not to satisfy yourself. Second perspective changing truth. * 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3 establishes mutual conjugal duty. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. Note that it says, fulfill, not, try, or, be present. To fulfill means to complete the task satisfactorily. If she remains unsatisfied, you did not fulfill it. Simple. Third revealing truth. * Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Not looking to your own interests but each of you to the interests of the others. In the context of intimacy, this means you look out for her pleasure as superior to yours. Her satisfaction comes first. Fourth crucial truth. God's physical design confirms this. He designed the man to be able to satisfy the woman first and then be satisfied. Male anatomy allows for control. You can wait. You can focus on her first. If you don't do it, it is a selfish choice, not a physical limitation. Fifth truth that will take away your excuses. A woman typically requires more time and different stimulation to achieve satisfaction. This is not a design flaw, it is God's intentional design for the man to have to exercise patience, service, and focus on the other. It is a school of sacrificial love in the bedroom. Sixth liberating truth. When you satisfy your wife first, she will naturally want more intimacy. The rejection you experience is frequently because she knows she will be used without being satisfied. When you change the pattern, when she knows she will be tended to first, her desire increases dramatically. Seventh truth that connects spirituality with sexuality. Your ability to control your body in intimacy reflects your general self-control. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 lists self-control as a fruit of the Spirit. If you cannot control yourself in the bedroom to serve your wife, what does that say about your general spiritual maturity? Eighth and final truth. Every time you leave her unsatisfied, you deposit rejection in her heart that will eventually destroy your marriage. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 13. A continual dripping is the contention of a wife. Continuous dissatisfaction is like a constant leak that eventually brings down the entire structure. Now, brother, I need you to comment honestly if you have been finishing before your wife regularly. Do not give graphic details, just say, I have been selfish in intimacy. This is vital because by recognizing it, you begin the process of change. Do not pause this video, because what is coming will give you the exact protocol for how to satisfy your wife completely. We are going to delve deeper into biblical principles on mutual service in marriage. First, consider the washing of feet in John chapter 13. Jesus, being Lord and teacher, knelt to wash the feet of his disciples. Verses 14 and 15. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Brother, in marital intimacy, this means that you, being the head of the household, kneel to serve your wife's pleasure first. It is not beneath your dignity, it is exactly what Christ modeled. Second, Romans chapter 15, verses 1-3. We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Each of us should please our neighbors for their good, to build them up. For even Christ did not please himself. Even Christ did not please himself. Brother, if Christ did not seek his own pleasure first, what makes you think you can do it in your marriage and call it love? Third, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Husbands, in the same way, live with your wives in an understanding way, as with a weaker partner. To live wisely includes understanding that she functions differently sexually. Giving her honor includes ensuring that she is satisfied, not used. Now, modern scientific studies on female sexual satisfaction confirm exactly what the Bible implies. Research shows that approximately 75% of women do not reach orgasm with vaginal penetration alone. They require specific additional stimulation, and studies on average time show that men typically reach climax in 5 to 7 minutes, while women require 15 to 20 minutes of stimulation. Brother, if you finish in 5 minutes and fall asleep, it is mathematically impossible for her to be satisfied. It is not that she is difficult or cold, it is that you are not doing your complete job. Let me share something personal that transformed my marriage. During the first years, I was exactly like Neria's. I finished quickly and fell asleep, satisfied, thinking everything was fine because I was satisfied. My wife never said anything directly, but gradually she became less interested. One day in marriage counseling for other issues, the counselor asked directly about our intimacy, and my wife finally spoke. He never satisfies me, she said with tears. He always finishes quickly and falls asleep. I'm left there feeling empty. Brother, those words destroyed me. I thought I was a good husband, but I was selfish in the most intimate area of marriage. That night, I made a radical decision. I would never finish before her again. I learned control techniques. I learned exactly what satisfied her. I learned to focus completely on her pleasure first, and our marriage was completely transformed. She seeks me out now. She anticipates intimacy, and the emotional connection outside the bedroom also improved dramatically. Now, I want you to comment your age because you need to calculate how many years you have been leaving your wife unsatisfied. If you have been married for 15 years and have never satisfied her consistently, that is 15 years of rejection deposits in her heart. Commenting your age is recognizing the magnitude of the damage you need to repair. Do it now. Now I'm going to give you the exact protocol for how to satisfy your wife consistently and transform your marital intimacy. Protocol number 1. Decide that her pleasure comes first, always, without exception. This is not a suggestion, it is a fundamental mindset that must change. Before seeking intimacy, your thought must be, I'm going to satisfy her completely, not satisfy myself. Protocol number 2. Ask her directly what satisfies her. Sit down outside the context of intimacy and say, Love, I want to satisfy you better. I need you to teach me exactly what gives you pleasure. Many men assume they know, but every woman is different. Ask and listen. Protocol number 3. Learn control techniques to last longer. This includes the stop-start technique, the squeeze technique, deep breathing during intimacy, and mental focus on her instead of your own sensation. There are Christian resources on this. Invest time in learning it. Protocol number 4. Focus on the stimulation she needs before penetration. Most women need a significant amount of stimulation time before they are ready. Do not rush. Take your time. Enjoy the process of giving her pleasure. Protocol number 5. Communicate during intimacy. Ask, do you like this? Faster or slower? What do you need? Do not assume. Each encounter can be different. Protocol number 6. Do not finish until she has finished first. This requires control and focus, but it is completely possible. If you need to stop so you don't finish first, stop. Switch to satisfying her in other ways and then return. Her orgasm first, always. Protocol number 7. After both of you finish, do not immediately turn over to sleep. Stay with her, hold her, talk to her. The time after intimacy is crucial for emotional connection. If you fall asleep immediately, she feels used, even if she was physically satisfied. Protocol number 8. If you have a legitimate medical problem with premature ejaculation, seek professional help immediately. There are effective treatments. Do not use this as an excuse to continue leaving her unsatisfied. Your responsibility is to seek a solution. Protocol number 9. Pray before intimacy, asking God to help you serve your wife. It may seem strange, but consecrating your intimacy and asking for self-control is powerful. Lord, help me to love my wife as Christ loves the church in this intimacy. Give me control to serve her first. Protocol number 10. Set a goal to satisfy her multiple times before you finish once. This sounds extreme, but it is completely possible and will transform how she views intimacy with you. When she knows she will be abundantly satisfied, her desire for you multiplies. These 10 protocols are not optional if you want a healthy marriage. They are the biblical standard of loving like Christ. Comment which one you will implement first. Declare yourself publicly. Now let's go to additional passages that establish the principle of service. First, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 24. No one should seek their own good, but the good of others. In the context of marital intimacy, this is a direct command. You do not seek your satisfaction first, you seek hers. Period. Now Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free. But do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh, rather, serve one another humbly in love. Serve one another in love. In the bedroom, this means your focus is to serve her, not to use her for your satisfaction. Let me give you an example of how this transforms marriages. I knew a couple where the husband was exactly like Neria's. He finished in 2 or 3 minutes maximum and fell asleep. His wife had endured it for 20 years but had developed a complete aversion to sex. She constantly avoided it. He thought she had a hormonal problem. In counseling, the truth came out. She didn't have a hormonal problem. She had 20 years of never having been satisfied. When he finally understood and radically changed his approach, it took almost a year for her to heal emotionally. 20 years of feeling used are not erased in a week. But gradually, when she consistently experienced him satisfying her first, something healed. Now, 5 years later, she actively seeks him out. The transformation was complete. Brother, if your wife avoids you sexually, ask yourself honestly. Have I satisfied her consistently, or have I used her for my pleasure? The answer probably explains her coldness. Now, something few people understand. Your wife's sexual satisfaction is directly connected to her respect for you as a leader. Studies show that women who are consistently sexually satisfied have higher levels of respect and admiration for their husbands. It makes sense. If you show that you can